The Great British Pub.
Oh, you work tomorrow night, eh?
Our neighbourhood's living room.
Yeah, man.
Where victories are toasted, friendships flourish, and the world is put to rights over a pint of the usual.
They got it up on the wall there.
But since the turn of the millennium, the UK has lost over a quarter of its pubs. That's nearly 14,000 that have called last orders forever. I'm Tom Kerridge, and last year I set off around Britain to uncover why so many of our pubs are failing.
We've sacrificed our relationship for this pub.
I wanted to lift the lid on an industry I know and love.
They make money when people fail, driving out some of the best publicans in this country.
And try to save any more pubs from going to the wall.
We have to work out a way where we can make a profit in this business.
Back in 2005, I rescued the Hand and Flowers in Marlow and transformed it into the first 2 Michelin star pub in the world. I've since opened 2 more innovative ventures. The latest a butcher shop by day and pub by night. As the proud landlord of these 3 pubs, it pains me to see the plight of our industry. How are you? Tom,
welcome to Scotland.
So I've been working at the grassroots.
You after another one?
With 4 very different pubs. From Cornwall to Stirlingshire, to help secure their long-term futures. What do you want to do, give it away and earn nothing? This is probably coming now as a really harsh reality. But none of us could ever have imagined the crisis that lay ahead.
This could be the last night that this pub trades, ever.
This is our story. I opened this when I was 31 years old. I honestly don't know if I have the energy to do it all again. There's 3 things that I need to look at in pubs, for me, that make them really special. And that's the drinks offering, the food offering, and the actual ambience and the space itself. And if you can get all of those things together, you have a recipe for success. But if there's one of those that's out of line, it'll be really interesting to see what's going wrong and how we can change it. So this is going to be a real adventure. The first pub I'm working with is in the countryside, where Amy Newland and Ian Durnall's dream of becoming landlords began just 2 years ago, when they took on the White Hart, the only pub in the small village of Chilsworthy in Cornwall.
It's our home, this is our front room. We spend every hour of the day down here, really, apart from upstairs when we go to bed.
Synonymous with the British countryside, village pubs are often woven into the fabric of the local community.
There you go, Derek.
Since Ian and Amy have been here, it's had a really good vibe. They'll do craft mornings, fundraising. She lets the premise be used as a general sort of community's resource, really, which is what we don't have. So it's very, very good.
You're going to be in the potato competition. That's going to be very...
But they're under serious threat. In 2019, over 500 rural pubs shut for good.
If this pub wasn't here, I think the community would suffer.
Because so many are going all over the country, we really, really don't want that to happen here.
And here it is. And at least sun's come out. Hello there, mate. How are you? I'm Tom.
I'm Amy, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome
You
to the
all
White
right?
Hart.
Thank you very much.
Would you like a drink?
Have a glass of water.
Of course you can.
It was a shame ordering a glass of water when you got all those lovely beers on, but I got to be honest, I'm a non-drinker now.
No worries.
Always worked in pubs?
No.
Okay.
No. I started off working with animals, then I worked in healthcare, and then I went a bit mad and bought a pub. Still looking after people. We took a massive risk and sold a 4-bedroom detached house and brought a business, as well as a home.
You live upstairs, you live and breathe
Live,
this
eat and
place.
breathe it, yeah.
Okay.
So this is our dining room. This was built in the 80s, it's an extension.
Whoa. Hey, that's not a bad place to be having Sunday lunch, looking out over that, is it?
Yeah, it's pretty special.
It's super lovely, isn't it? Part of the reason why you bought a pub?
Yeah, definitely. Living the dream, that's what I always say.
Dream or not, no amount of romanticism can pay the bills.
I'm sorry it took ages, but, you know, I've been so busy.
To keep this award-winning pub afloat, Amy has multiple responsibilities for the business, including being the chef. So are you in the kitchen every morning doing the prep?
Yeah, but I don't normally come in here till about 11.
Right.
I get up at 6:30, do some emails, cash up, go and check out some bills, and yeah, it's like savage. Oh my God, it's 11 o'clock, and I've got to get in the kitchen. But when we're really busy, there's just not enough time in the day to prep everything, cook everything.
That's the
I
phone.
have to get it. I've got one in
Go
here.
on, grab it.
I bet it's Ian. Hello, White Hart. I did get your email, hang on. 15th and 16th. All right, I'll book him in for you. Cheers, John, bye. That's Ian's work. I've just booked him in for tomorrow, 2 days next week and 2 days the week after.
As well as working alongside Amy in the pub, Ian is a commercial gas engineer.
Me going to work, it brings a little bit more money in to make things a little bit easier.
Why are they booking that through you? Why not through Ian?
He can't, he's not very organised.
Is he not very organised?
No, he's got
Or
to
is
get
it
some
you
parts
that's
now.
grabbing everything?
Well, no, but if I've done it, I know it's done.
She's a very driven woman. The patience bit, Amy's got less.
He does go, oh, I've got this job to do, and I'm like, you didn't tell me about this, so I've got to add it to the list.
I love her a bit, don't get me wrong. She needs to know what's going on and what to do. It's just, that's in her nature.
So that's going to make chili, isn't it?
Yes.
So have you got any left for lunch?
I might be able to squeeze a little bit for you if you want some. There goes the phone again.
Thank you very much. This is lovely, home-cooked food. It's super tasty. Do you know what? It actually deserves so much better than this room. You know, like when you walk into a house that you think, oh, it needs a bit of love in here. By early evening, the restaurant is still quiet. But a merry group of locals are having a drink in the front bar.
This is where you meet people. It's one of the reasons why we moved to the village.
What else is in the village? Is there anything else?
Nothing. This is it. This is it.
If you brought someone from overseas and wanted to take them to a quintessential English pub, this is it, isn't it?
And people talk to each other that have never spoken before. It's lovely.
So this pub's got a really good energy, but the beating heart of that energy is Amy. She doesn't stop. It's kind of like the Duracell bunny that is wound up and is just going and going and going quickly that way, coming back this way. You know, she'll ask someone to do something and then she'll go and do it herself, and then she'll come halfway back. She's a special landlady. We just need to try and make this pub sing and sing properly for her.
In 5 hours, on a Tuesday, we took £168.60. Wages, £50, and then your running costs. You haven't made any money.
No.
You haven't.
And
We
that
took
wages,
28.
That's not including your wages.
No, we take £75 a week each.
£75 a week.
It's not great.
No, it's not great. Although I do know exactly what you mean, because that is the exact same amount of money that me and my wife paid ourselves each for the first 3.5, 4 years of our business. It's not a lot.
We want to push and make the place great, not just have to work 24/7 for the rest of our life. Because we don't sit down and... Oh, I'm going to get upset now.
It's all right, Emily.
But it's not. We've sacrificed our relationship for this pub. And he still ain't fucking making money. It's true.
Yeah, but the thing is, we're still here. We're still here and there's a lot more people out there that really struggle.
But you're not great. So,
No.
I mean, with all due respect, Ian, it's not enough. It's clearly not enough.
Yeah.
What you've done here is you bought into a way of life, but that way of life is not exactly what you wanted it. This building has become your social life, your business, your works, everything. The whole thing's become a great big mess. You have to start unraveling it. You've got to delegate more. You've got to let people get on with stuff. And then it'll be easier for you to deal with in an emotional point of view as well. I think your dining room doesn't need to be a dining room. I wouldn't eat in there.
Really?
That front bar, that front room full of locals with a fire on and whatever, it really is wonderful. There's a great atmosphere and energy there. And you need that room
to go around. Because we have thought about smashing a wall down.
Make it warmer.
It is all about the view. If you could walk through the front door and see out that way, that would be how to utilise that space.
I don't want to destroy the pub for what it is. I mean, there's so many places that have gone, right, what we'll do is we'll take that wall down, take all the brasses off the wall, paint it grey, put some sofas in the corner and change everything.
No one's saying take the brasses down. All you're doing is making the bar bigger. Amy's got an amazing idea.
It has been talked about a lot,
What you do then is you draw all your locals and they will all sit around there because they've got this view.
Yeah.
And that's just the start of it. There's so much more we can do. There's loads, but that would be a great start. Pubs like the White Hart play a vital role in rural communities, especially when they're the only public spaces left for people to meet. But they can struggle commercially if they rely solely on their locals. Exploiting that amazing view could draw more outsiders in. Turning this place into a destination pub and making the business more profitable. The second pub I'm visiting is owned by a pubco called Punch, and it brings me from the countryside into town, where pubs have to compete with each other for our money. Today, I'm in a town called Stroud, which is just outside of Gloucester, and it's a busy little town. I'm visiting a pub called the Prince Albert, which is a local institution. It's got this great reputation, and it's always super busy. So it does come as a bit of a surprise to hear that it's struggling. It's definitely out of town a bit.
It used to be a case every night would be busy, you wouldn't have to do anything. Now you really do have to go out and find your audience and get them in.
You really want to have to get there if you're going to walk all the way up this hill.
People are constantly surprised because you wouldn't expect through those doors to find what goes on in here.
Here it is, here on the right, with no car park. We've been lucky we found a blank space here. So if you're going to go out on a night out there, the pub has to offer something. You really have to want to go through the doors of that pub. For over 20 years, the Prince Albert has gained a brilliant reputation for live music, attracting both locals and music fans from afar. Booking the bands and pouring the beers are tenant landlords Lottie Lister and Miles Connolly.
They operate the pub as if they own the pub. There's love put into the place.
I've never had it in another pub where people are willing to bring you over and have a chat and invite you into their little bubble.
It is very much an extended family.
It's like what a public house should be like.
To the onlooker or the customer that comes in, it looks like we're a busy, thriving pub. We've got a good footfall, we've got customers coming in, we're selling beer, there's loads of empty barrels outside, but at the end of the day, there's not much left for us. Well, there's nothing really. On a turnover of just over 350,000, we made a profit of £3,000.
Wow.
Wow, I know, yeah. I mean, we knew it wasn't good, but the harsh reality was like, oh my God.
Absolutely nothing. The moment that the glass washer breaks
exactly.
or a fridge goes down.
Yeah. Essentially, all the profit is here. The arrangement we have with the owners of the building is we're contracted to buy all our lager, cider and beer off them at an inflated price. The freeholder could walk into a wholesaler and buy it cheaper than we can.
But in return, is your rent cheaper than this would be if it was in an open market?
No, it's not.
Right.
Our rent here is £19,000. And last year, when we had our rent review coming up, we wanted to add extra £5,000 on. And we went, whoa, that's just not possible. They said, well, we've worked out how much money you're making.
So the more you turn over, they go, oh, we'll put the rent up. We have nothing. We have no pension, we don't own property. We have to work out a way where we can make a profit in this business.
Around 12,000 UK pubs are tied houses. a centuries-old system under which tenants or leaseholders must buy at least some of their beer through the pubco or brewery that owns the building. My Tide pubs in Marlow are profitable, but I don't rely heavily on the sale of beer. In 2 of my pubs, it's all about the food. And when I got this pub, to help make it work within the pubco structure, I came at it from a completely new direction.
So many places, this place in particular, was sat empty during the day, not operational at all. So if I could turn it into a retail space and generate income, it could at least cement its place in the community. So it operates as a butcher's from 9 till 5, and then as a pub pretty much for the rest of the time.
If you hold on to it, I'll move the chairs.
OK.
For Lottie and Miles, their thing is music.
OK, got it.
If you rattle it at the same time, it helps it tighten.
So you've put stages up before, haven't you?
Now I want to see how they make that pay.
For tonight's gig, we're selling tickets. It's £10 a ticket.
Right.
And some have been sold in advance, some are on the door, and they get the door.
So you get nothing?
No.
We don't make profit on the door takes, no. There are different setups. A lot of the time, we'll offer 10% of whatever we've taken that night. So if we've taken £1,000, we're going to pay the band £100.
But that terrifies the living daylights out of me. You told me that you take £350,000 a year, but you only make £3,000 profit. That's less than 1%, right?
Yep.
OK. However, you're giving someone 10% of the bar take.
Got to pay good money to keep the reputation that we've got.
And then also, they get a home-cooked meal. So we make a veg curry or a lasagna and lovely stuff from the
Sometimes they
farmer's
stay the
market.
night.
And then sometimes, as well, they stay. And
We haven't got to the 2 free drinks we give you as well, each.
OK. You're like the most wonderful, generous landlords around because you're making sure that everyone's completely looked after. And that is exactly the right thing to be doing, of course, because it generates goodwill and business in return. However, you're not looking after yourselves.
We need to look at this. Turnout's good. You know, we've got these amazing artists and musicians and people and customers that come into our living room and it works, you know. But just not maybe financially.
This is super great. I mean, the musicians, top drawer. The audience, still drinking though, which is great.
But as I know from 15 years of being a pub co-tenant myself, rising taxes and rent mean that margins are more crucial than ever. So first I need Lottie and Miles to make sure that they're maximising their profit from the bar.
And so we rise again, rise again.
See you, boys. Good to see you.
There's a couple of little things you could do before you next come back and see you. Firstly, could you monitor all the beer that we're drinking? Drinks that go to staff or drinks that you give at the end of the night, all of those I want noted
You know
down.
how it works with the local pub? Leaky Steve, the plumber, will come and do a little job. It's not worth giving us an invoice. Give him a couple of pints.
I give you an invoice every time.
Oh, well, not every time.
Lottie's paying the invoice, you're giving him free beer. So this is what I mean. Now, the next thing, look at the price of your beers, OK? What price do they have to be to make the profit margin that we need? Now, let's put those beers on at that price, not say a word to anybody, keep on as a trial and see what happens.
We've only just put the Timothy Taylor up from 440 to 450.
And it's still not enough, we know that.
And we'd had the Grolsch on at 480, and now we've replaced that with Moretti at 520. So, you know, there's a...
What do you want to do? Give it away and earn nothing? Because I'm not saying it's forever. Don't be scared. You've got to do it. Listen, what's more scary, that or not when the boiler breaks, not being able to afford to do it?
It is broken.
Well, there you go. Try it, because you're amazing people with a beautiful pub. We just got to make it so that you make a living.
Thank you.
All right. See you in a bit.
Nice one.
Come on. Back in Cornwall, Amy and Ian have already started to transform the dining room at the White Hart. They've taken out the dated carvery and are installing a posh new ladies' loo.
Don't drop it, Ian. Don't drop it.
Sometimes in Cornwall, the word directly comes across. Directly could mean it'll be done tomorrow. Directly could mean it'll be done next week. Directly could mean it'll be done in 3 years' time. Yeah, I'm not a directly person. Should we have a look at the plans? Yeah. Taking the wall out, putting a new bar in, it's going to be such a big job.
Amy's had plans drawn up by local joiners Adam and Paul.
So there's the doorway there. So you're going to get this view from this side of the bar right through. Once that wall's gone, it's going to be a big difference for you.
Start next week?
Well, it's
Trev, we need to work out when we're going to do this.
We need a time scale.
All right, let's just say maybe we could be able to open it on St. Piran's Day, March the 5th.
Yeah, that's quite a good day.
5th of March is quite important in Cornwall. St. Piran is the saint of Cornwall. There's lots of celebrations, so we really need to get it done within 6 weeks. We still don't know where the money's going to come from. It's giving me a right headache. Scary. We've had mixed views on the locals. A lot of them are really excited, but you've got a lot of people that really don't like change. It's not disrespectful, but we just cannot rely on local trade coming in, a building this size. You know, we need a bit more. For your local pub to keep on going and trading for years to come, we need to do a bit more.
Keeping a small band of loyal regulars happy while also attracting new customers is a problem shared by landlords and landladies up and down the country.
Back in the early 80s, if you came over to England, travelling from the West Indies, you'd know that this was one of the places you could come to and meet other people from Jamaica. It was a vibrant, happy place to be.
The third pub I'm visiting is in London, where sky-high property prices, rising rents, transient populations and heavy competition mean the capital has lost over 80 pubs a year since the millennium. I'm heading to the Golden Anchor, a free-of-tie leasehold run by Lana Bury in Nunhead, Peckham.
If you didn't have work, you'd meet somebody from your area back in the West Indies and you'd make a connection. You could get work, you get food that you love.
So I know very little about South London pubs run by the Afro-Caribbean community, so this is a bit of a leap into the unknown for me.
It was vibrant, busy. It was a different time. It was a happy time.
What I do know about Peckham now is that the property prices are most definitely on the increase, and it's quite a cool postcode to have now.
It's almost as if I've stayed there as well in the good times and not kept up with now.
Thank you very much. Hi. Hey, Lana, I'm Tom.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Please come in. Welcome to the Golden Anchor.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
So, Lana, how long have you been here?
This time round, since April '98. This was the first pub I worked in part-time in the 80s. Yeah, my Sunday job.
Then you came back and decided to run it.
Somebody told me they were going to put it up for the lease for sale, and I went for it and got it.
Do you want to show us around a little bit?
I'd love to, yeah.
Come on then.
The Golden Anchor is split into 2 rooms. The front bar is used for pool and dominoes.
During the week, it will be mainly the domino players. A bit on the noisy side. That's what they've come here for, to enjoy themselves. They do need to behave themselves. It's just life. You're an adult. Behave yourself.
And out back, there is a dance hall.
We've got 2 fantastic DJs. They know the songs I'm going to love, and they just know to rewind it because I'm just going to give them that look. On a good night, the people are enjoying themselves. It's busy, and there's no feeling like it. And we get a lot of those feelings, but we could do with a lot more.
So this is the party room. This is where it gets busy, 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock.
It's a bit later, but yes, it does get busy, yeah.
Later than 10, 11 o'clock.
11, sometimes 12.
So midnight till 2.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 hours, twice a week, this room's busy.
Yes, for sure. That can't pay the bills. That can't cover us for the rest of the week when it's quiet and we're opening up.
No. What we got over there?
Just a little bit of history.
Jamaican history?
Yes.
So you're Jamaican, British-born, Jamaican heritage?
Yes, yeah.
So Jamaican flags, Jamaican national heroes. Is it a Jamaican pub?
No, and I don't like that. It's a pub. It's just a pub. It's just like a lot of Jamaicans come here and drink, and that's what we're kind of known for. And I think that's why we don't get a lot of other people come here. It's like it's a black pub. That's the thing we'll get. It's a black pub. It's a Jamaican pub. It's a yardie pub.
And that's a Jamaican phrase.
It's not used in a positive way. It's gangsters, you know, dealers and things like that. When I worked here initially in the 80s, it was a drug den. I couldn't have that in my business, so they had to go. Go they did.
How did you get rid of them?
They would give me them looks, you know, them menacing looks, and they would swear and use all sorts of words at me. I'd say, no, you can't stay here. I was terrified, but I wasn't going to have it.
Amazing.
It's 2 o'clock and the pub is open. But with no customers, I've plenty of time to check out the kitchen.
Knock, knock, hello.
Oh, hello, how are you?
I'm good, you must be Marcia.
Yes, and you must be Tom.
I am Tom.
Yes.
How are you, mate?
I'm all right, thank you.
What are we making?
We're making chicken soup today, and we're doing it with chicken foot and chicken.
Chicken feet?
Yeah.
Big seller?
That's the best-selling soup in here.
OK. What do we need doing?
Marcia's soup includes stock, chicken's feet, potatoes, veg and dumplings. And after an hour or so, it's ready to taste.
Absolutely delicious.
Oh, thank you for that. It's coming from the heart.
I'm going to swerve the chicken foot. I mean, it's chicken skin on a bone. It's all right, like, there's nothing offensive about it. There's just no meat. Flavour-wise, it's hearty, it's homely, it tastes great, it is fantastic. But are you going to get just everybody to come and order chicken foot soup with dumplings? I mean, it's a big ask.
As well as Jamaican soups, Marcia makes classic West Indian dishes like steamed fish and jerk chicken.
It's delicious. It's tasty, it's filling. I just wish there were more people here eating it. I've been here 5 hours and there's still no customers.
But by 6 o'clock, a dozen regulars are playing dominoes in the front bar, and Lana's partner Greg, an electrician, is back from his day's work.
Second shift.
Second shift. These guys, they come in every day, play dominoes?
Yeah.
Who's the best domino player? You teach everybody, so you are the best player. Okay. Okay, well, I'm going to have to go and have a game and learn, I think.
Yeah.
Can I come and join your table?
Yeah, of course you can.
You're looking at me going, yes, fresh blood. Nice to meet you, Basil.
Yes.
Tom?
John.
John?
George.
George, I have absolutely no idea how to play this game.
So that means you and him will have to buy us the drink.
Is that right? Oh, you play as teams? Okay.
And if you lose, you'll have to buy.
Have you ever heard of beginner's luck? What happens if I've got nothing with a 1 or a 6?
Say a pass.
Okay, I pass.
When a man is down, you keep him down.
Okay, so now you know I've got no 1s.
Yeah, I'm gonna crucify you.
Thank you very much.
Pass.
And that must hurt.
All right.
Pinky can't play. Look, your pass now.
Yeah.
And I've won. There you go. Well played, sir.
Well done.
Yeah.
First to 6.
Okay. How would you feel if this pub had to close? We've got to bolt the doors, it doesn't make enough cash.
Big loss.
I wouldn't feel too good about it.
Probably spend the best part of the evening here.
So you'll have what, 2 beers, 3 beers?
A pint of beer and a pint of water.
Pint of beer, pint of water, over the 3 hours.
Sometimes I go over the top. I'm not perfect.
No, it's great. But who else is in this pub tonight? We've just got domino players there. We've got Greg behind the bar, but he's not serving any beer. It's a great space to be, don't get me wrong, but as a business, this isn't generating. We're all sat here having a nice time.
Yeah.
apart
The
from
bar
Greg.
starting up. Would you like a drink?
Yeah, maybe in a minute. I think by the end of this game, I might like two.
He's getting the hang of it.
Feed him again, man.
Oh, dear. 3-all.
So you only got to win one more?
How many dominoes you have?
Yeah, don't tell nobody. You amateurs. Well done, Pat. Well done. 6 up. Yeah.
I know you said you've never witnessed beginner's luck.
You play body. Of course. You have 4 moves before.
They're great fun. They're making a lot of noise. They're not drinking very much.
No, and it's the same every day. But there are those that if they can get away with it, trust me, they would stay there all night and play on the domino table and they wouldn't buy a drink.
What is the financial situation like?
It's just dire. And if we don't see a massive improvement, then we're just going to have to call it a day. I could sort of say, like, right, embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing.
Tom, when you have to work every day and you can't pay your bills, it is bad. Like, I made arrangements last week with the VAT man to pay it weekly. We should have money. It's not like, oh, we've got like a 10,000 VAT bill. It's 5,000. You can't pay that at the end of a quarter. What are you working for?
There is no single answer to saving pubs. Every pub is an individual, and each one has its own customer base. But most importantly, the real good ones that really succeed have incredible people. You've been loving this pub for 20 years. We need to look at client base and how you get them there, rather than something that is just sucking the life out of you and everything else.
I'm all up for it.
I don't know where to start, but it is a great pub. She's amazing. There's already a brilliant atmosphere in there. It's just not enough people.
Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah.
At the Albert, I think Lottie and Miles are too generous for their own good, so I want them to try a little experiment.
We really enjoyed Tom's visit, and we've had a few long nights discussing things. Here he is now.
I can't find any... Oh, fuck's sake. I can't find any specs to, so you'll have to read off the computer.
OK.
I'm keen to find out if you can be a drink or wet-led pub and still make enough to survive within a pubco structure.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I've asked Lottie and Miles to unify the gross profit on their beer and increase their prices.
Otto's currently at 370, which is just on 55%. So if we take it up to 56%...
Divide by 44, and then times by
100.
Times by 100. 384.
£3.80 a pint, which is perfectly doable. Timothy Taylor landlord, what do we charge at the moment? 4.50.
5.15.
So that's going up 65 pence.
We'd have to take it off.
We'll take it off. I think we just take it off.
We can't be the most expensive pub in Stroud. I think we're going to understand our marketplace better than Tom, to a certain degree, because we live here every day.
Amstel.
504.
What we charge you for at the moment? 4.20.
Wow.
San Miguel.
That's the most expensive so far.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Some of the products are impossible to put up.
Guinness, £2.35. I think that's over
That'd
a
be
fiver.
$5.34. It's huge.
It's huge.
OK, Moretti.
£6.25.
I'll get laughed at Stroud. It'll be like the Marie Celeste in here. No, not selling it for that.
To remain competitive in the current climate, Britain's publicans need to be responsive to changing drinking habits. In the case of Lottie and Miles, this means buying in quality real ales and craft beers. But for them, that's at the pubco's higher prices. To help them, I need to dig deeper into how the tie works. From the side of the people who brew the beer. So I'm meeting local brewer Greg Pilley.
We've been brewing since 2006, and of course the brewing landscape has changed considerably since then. In the county there was 6 of us when we started. There's now 48 breweries in Gloucestershire alone.
Wow.
And nationally the picture is the same. It's never been a better time to be a drinker, for sure. It's been one of the hardest times to be a brewer and compete within that. So this is the brewery kitchen, 20 brewers' barrels, which means that we'll produce 80 of these firkins in a single brew.
So tell me about the economics of selling this barrel of beer.
To a free house directly as a trade price, it's in the high 70s. If we're selling to a pubco, we get around about £60. So,
Right, so it's considerably less.
Yes.
So you sell this barrel to a pub company for £60.
Yes.
Then they deliver it.
We actually deliver it.
Okay.
The pub company doesn't have to do anything. We just pay them, or they pay us £60, and then they sell it on to their tenants at about £100. So they're making £40 for every barrel for doing nothing, and we're making about 10 for, you know, making it and delivering it. And then the pub has to sell it at a price that competes with all the free houses that are buying it at £20 less.
It seems unfair. The pubco's strong-arm producers like Greg on the price that they buy beer, and at the same time, handicapped tied tenants like Lottie and Miles who struggle to compete with free houses on the price that they sell it. With the pubcos taking so much of the profit, I'm now not sure increasing the beer prices will make enough difference.
I'm interested to see how it goes, but feeling like our regulars are going to be upset. What are you having?
Oh, please.
Cheers, mate. $4.90.
Is that gone up?
Yeah.
That's quick.
Yeah, don't take long, does it? $4.90. He said, "Has that gone up?" And I said, "Yes." And then he didn't mention it again. That's like, okay. It's just that simple. I'd have kicked off.
Guinness, that'll be £5.20, please. Thank you. Josh has just been in and had a pint of Guinness for £5.20.
Has he?
Didn't notice.
9 of your English, thank you. Cheers, mate. Come on then, pay attention. 11.60. Cheers. Thanks, Osk. Not a sausage.
A couple of the locals that I thought had noticed that the price has gone up haven't. One of our locals just came in, Steve, he noticed straight away. He always pays with cash. So he's got his money ready to pay, and he's, bloody hell, that's 60p more than it was yesterday.
That's going to be a lot of money to him. And the free house that is closest to us is down the hill down there. And he can get a pint cheaper in there. Fact, you know?
I don't mind paying a premium because this pub offers something which you don't get in Wetherspoons, where you can get a pint for £3 or whatever. Bit of a kick in the shin, but what am I going to do about it? I'll still drink it and I'll still come here because I love the pub.
To help Lana at the Golden Anchor, I first need to learn more about the role Jamaican-run pubs have played in the South London community. So I've arranged to meet historian Kelly Foster for a drink in Brixton.
How are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
So why did you suggest we meet here in this pub?
Well, A, so you can buy me a drink.
Yeah.
And B, we're in Market House in Cardiff Lane. And in a previous life, this was the Coach and Horses, or AKA George Berry's.
George Berry was the first Jamaican immigrant to become a pub licensee.
One of the things that is often overlooked about African Caribbean people full stop, who are coming to the UK after World War II, is the racism that they face. One of the places where this was particularly apparent was in the public houses, where if you were black, you got turned away and you got refused service. So George Berry getting the licence here at the Coach and Horses in 1965 marked a turning point in race relations in the UK. 1965 is also the date that the Race Relations Act came into force, in which it became unlawful for people to be turned away.
George Berry blazed a trail for more people of Caribbean origin to become landlords.
Do you think there's any danger that the English regulars will exclude themselves?
Well, I think it is very natural that because a West Indian has taken over the pub, other West Indians will tend to gravitate towards it. But so far as I have seen, the regulars, which are the English people, have accepted me, and they have been coming here, and so have the West Indians, and therefore I see no danger.
I've always known the Coach and Horses to be a very mixed clientele. And a lot of the pubs and bars in this area still reflect that. Even though it might be thought of as a black pub or a Jamaican pub, they welcome everybody in. Caribbean-owned pubs in the UK brought a little bit of Caribbean hospitality and music. But one thing that we don't have in the Caribbean, however, is the ale.
So those pubs have actually, they've changed, they've diversified and they've grown as the area has grown. As
Yeah, because if you're a pub that doesn't change in London, you're a pub that doesn't exist anymore.
The Golden Anchor hasn't changed with the times. Real ale and craft beers are some of the biggest growth areas in the industry, and Lana sells neither.
The first priority is making this room feel like a proper pub bar. You're not going to sell any beer in this bar without having any beer available. And worse still, they see an empty aquarium with a sign in it, and they're stuck to it with a load of "do not do this" written on it. So yeah, make all of that drinks bar special. Make it feel like that you've got a full selection of drinks there, including a cask-conditioned ale. And then, your lovely Dominoes players. They create their own energy and atmosphere, but that dominates your pub. People aren't going to walk in through that door if it's just full of Dominoes players that sat at all the seats, so there's nowhere to sit. So we've got to be able to move these guys down there, but still make them feel welcome. Tell them you're creating a new space for them.
We tried it in the summer and they revolted. OK, we'll go back again.
Well, you've got to do it.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah, it's my business as well. Yeah,
otherwise this just isn't going to work.
We're doing it. Yeah.
Now the last thing that I need you to do is I want you to do an open house. OK, once this bar is looking lovely and feels like a proper pub, you're going to open these doors and you're going to invite everybody that you know. You're going to flyer. You're going to talk to people and you're going to get them through the doors. And you're going to show them what this pub is about.
Sounds good.
So when you get them through the door, we're going to use them as an experiment to find out a lot more about what the perception of this pub is and what the people of this community nearby want. So what we can offer them.
Amazing.
But it's only the start.
At the White Hart, Amy and Ian have taken out a loan and begun work to open up the bar to that amazing view. But knocking down a wall in a 300-year-old pub is not for the faint-hearted.
We're living in a building site now. There's dust everywhere. You just can't serve food in an environment like this. But we can serve beer. We've got barrels on the bar. They've put this up to obviously try and prevent as much dust coming over as possible. Behind the curtain is where all the work's being carried out. So people can come through the front door there, stand here at the bar and be able to see our view through here. This is the old exterior wall to the pub. And it's 21 inches thick. And there's bits of granite in there that are like that. You know, to smash that out, it's a massive, massive job. Words cannot describe how much stuff is going on in my head. Because it's such an old building, it really has sucked away so much money. My paperwork pile is there, and I'm just going to get people all the time in a minute just ringing me up saying, can you pay me, can you pay me? I can't understand where the steels are going to go.
And to the other end.
So you've got to smash this bit down?
Yeah.
We have a deadline on when that bar has to be there. It's super stressful.
Lana is cracking on preparing for the open house at the Golden Anchor.
My name's Lana. I'm from the pub up the road, the Golden Anchor. Friday we've got an open house, free drinks and some food to sample, yeah.
I've got the balloons, I might come back down.
All right, okay. So that building there was once a popular, busy pub amongst the Caribbean community. It was called the Swiss Tavern. And then they turned it into This block of flats that you can see now. It's not until now that it's really kind of sinking in that we need to actively be out there welcoming our locals. And once we've got them in them doors, then we've got to sell ourselves big time. Greenery's coming down. Reason for the fish tank initially was because it was very good feng shui. It was supposed to bring you a lot of luck and good fortune. Down to the garage door, yeah?
Which just leaves the tricky business of moving the dominoes players.
There'd be those that are like resentful of it because they're used to coming in and having this space for themselves. Gentlemen, as if we've got a little bit of quiet, we've got a wonderful announcement to make. So what we're going to do is ask you all to move round to the other bar as a trial.
Yeah, but when the crowd come in and we can...
Well, maybe we'll have to stop the music. What about stopping the music and just let the dominoes play?
You can't stop the dominoes, so...
I'm asking for your support in this because we've got an open house and this is the bar that they're going to be concentrating in.
They're coming to see domino players and the minute they come, they push the door and don't see the domino players.
Don't be like that now. You don't even come often, so...
It's like moving a kid out their bedroom, innit? Yeah. We used to around here. We never play around there before, so...
That's fine. It's fine. It's a change. And sometimes a change is good.
What I say, I mean, and I'm not going to go back on it. I can't go back on it anyways. We'll settle them in nicely, and that's how it is.
Two weeks have passed and I'm back at the Prince Albert. The beer price experiment is still ongoing.
I'm waiting to see how that affects it over a period of maybe a couple of weeks, to see if people do decide to go elsewhere because they think they can get it a bit cheaper, maybe at the weekends.
Under the arrangement they have with their pub co, this was only ever going to be a marginal gain. So Miles and Lottie have a more dramatic idea they want to discuss.
We'd like to go free of tie on the beer pumps.
We're paying too much for the beer. I mean, that's obvious. Now, there's a thing that's run through the pub codes, which the government have made available, that is called market rent only, MRO.
The MRO means you come out of having to buy their beers, but your rent is the market rent, which on paper is going to be more expensive than the rent you're paying now.
The rent will increase slightly because we won't be buying beer from them.
We could go straight to the brewery and buy it direct from them. So we could go to all of the breweries we've got locally. Yeah. We've got so many good breweries.
It would be better for the brewery and better for us.
It'd be better for everybody.
I'm not sure breaking free of the beer tie can be that simple. If it was, every tied landlord would go for market rent only. I need to find out more. So I've arranged to meet the man who campaigned for this legislation in Parliament.
We need action now, not just to assist the thousands of publicans and safe pubs, but also to provide a boost to the local and the UK economy.
Formerly a Lib Dem MP, Greg Mulholland now chairs the British Pub Federation, which campaigns for the interests of tied tenants. We're meeting at a pub in South London, where landlord Dave Law has been trying to get out of his beer tie.
So I'm working quite closely with a pub called the Prince Albert. The operators have been there 20 years plus. If they were to look at the MRO, how could they achieve that?
I mean, the problem is, Tom, that the market rent-only option that we campaigned so hard for and then actually achieved in legislation, or so we thought, that legislation has been watered down. An independent assessor would say, we will assess this pub on a free-of-tie basis, and then you can have a rent on that basis with no other markup, no other product or service ties. Instead, unfortunately, that whole process has been stitched up, and actually it's the pubcos who are allowed to set the rent. So all they're doing is they're saying, well, if we're going to lose, 70, 80, 100,000 pounds that we will make from marking up beer to that pub, we'll actually just add that to the rent.
We tried to enact our rights way back as early as we could in September 2016. We're still not there. The pubcos will do everything they can to stall negotiations, complicate things. and it's been a very costly, time-consuming exercise.
And in the end, they will do anything they possibly can. They will fight tooth and nail.
These guys in particular, they've been there for over 20 years on a rolling tenancy. Surely they should be investing in them. Surely they should be...
Of course they should, but they don't, because that's what their business model has now become. They've got shareholders or creditors who expect those kind of returns from individual pubs. Their model has killed thousands and thousands of viable businesses. It's driving out some of the best publicans in this country. It is about the profits. I mean, in the end, that's what it's all about. You can say it's about all these other things and the structures, but it's just about the rip-off. It's taking too much of the pub profit.
This pub survived 2 world wars. Where the 750-year-old pub down in Deal in Kent that survived Henry VIII and 2 world wars. OK, didn't survive pub companies. Once they're gone, they are gone.
Talking to those guys today, it feels on such a huge scale that as a small operator, it's almost overwhelming. And that leads to the point of me worrying about Lottie and Miles and warning them against pushing down that route of going legal, of trying to get that MRO, because, you know, I just don't want them to get caught up into years and years of red tape of trying to eventually get where they want to get and give up.
I'm back at the Golden Anchor for the open house.
Lorna! And look at this place. It looks like a pub. So when did these come in?
Yesterday.
You've got a stout on as well for your stout lovers, and a real ale.
And the Domino's has gone round to the other bar.
How's that gone?
Not too bad. We had a few that stopped coming.
Right.
Yeah, but, you know, that's life.
So tonight, an open house. You've got people cooking.
Yep.
You've got staff coming in to set up.
Yep.
You've got bits and bobs going on. Mm-hmm. What can I do?
That looks lovely. Well done.
Coming through.
Tonight is all about drawing people in to find out what they look for when they go out.
I hope you're ready.
Always ready.
Always ready.
Yeah,
You're
always
ready.
With so much choice out there, competition is fierce.
You want to know everything about them, their pub habits, and why they have or haven't been coming here. And will they be coming back?
That's a big question, eh?
By 6 o'clock, a few people start to trickle in.
That is a pale ale. That's another pale ale. Oh.
It's early doors. You know, it's just that after work time. And there's a lot of the normal faces, the Domino's players.
What I like about it, right, you've got a variation, which is good. That's right, this one. Oh, dear me. They're all different, aren't they?
No sales yet.
No sales?
No.
And what are they drinking out the back?
Usual. Heineken and bottle Guinness.
But that's because it's the usual crowd.
Yeah.
Don't you worry, mate. New faces, the word will spread.
Yeah, good.
After a while, the old trick of free tastings works its magic, and newcomers are mingling with regulars.
There's your samples.
Yeah, they're good, man. The mango one's real good.
Have you been in here before?
No, we're down the road, but first time in.
Lana's the landlady. These are your new 2 locals.
Nice to meet you guys.
So come here and I'll do the chicken and the bread.
So do you come in here quite a bit?
Not as much as I used to.
What changed?
I don't know, it didn't have that pub feel to it anymore. I think having beer on tap and things like that makes it feel more pub-like.
Would you like to try the caster?
It's got a taste for it now, isn't it?
The challenge for this place is a way of bringing new people in whilst keeping the heritage and still offering something for, you know, the people who've been coming here for 10, 20, 30, 40 years.
We have more people coming in knowing that there's a multicultural society, there is a great food, great atmosphere, and it will be brilliant for the area. Absolutely.
This sort of pub is what Nunhead needs.
The feedback from local residents tonight gives us a really good starting point for the changes we need to make next.
Your pub this evening suddenly felt like we were in Nunhead Peckham. It's a multicultural, lovely mix of people. Everybody having a lovely time.
And that's what I so want and have wanted for so long.
Whatever it was for all those years that they weren't coming through that door, crossing that threshold, you broke that barrier down this evening.
Thank you. Bless you.
For Lana to attract more people through those doors on a regular basis, she needs to modernise, while keeping hold of the special Caribbean hospitality her pub is known for.
And today, I think that's definitely the route to go down. But there is still a huge amount of work to be done.
There's just 1 week to go until the White Hart's new bar is due to open for the St. Piran's Day celebration, and I'm back to check in on progress.
Hey, Tom, you okay?
Hello, you two, how are we?
We're missing something.
Yeah. I mean, this is what it's about, isn't it? You come through, and that's the view. Steels are in.
Acros are still up at the minute because
I'm taking them down in a minute.
No, tomorrow.
No, I'm going to take them down in a minute.
We're going to take them down in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be fine, mate. It'll be fine.
Stop worrying.
And whilst all of this is going on, you are actually still open, aren't you?
Yeah, of course we are.
Yeah, we are, yeah.
That is brilliant.
And people love it as well because they're like, oh, what's going on behind the curtain? And we've got limited drinks available, but everyone's accepted it, haven't they?
Yeah, yeah,
and
they
just
have,
said, it's just brilliant that you're open for us.
And I tell you what, that's the difference between it being a pub company and owner-operators. Because a pub company would close it all down, redo it all, give it a facelift, open it up again. You've gone, no, because we still need to generate income, we still need to do something. We're still a part of a community. You're the only pub in the village, aren't you? So the idea of, you know, you still
We still need to open the doors for the locals.
Despite the mess, the noise and the stress of the build, Amy has even managed to organise a pub quiz.
Yeah, we're getting a few people in now.
In the small part of the pub they can still squeeze people into.
Thank you for coming in tonight. This is a charity quiz for men's mental health. So we'll be coming around asking you for money, but it's all for a good cause. And in the raffle is a part of the White Hart wall. Thank you.
Everything is coming together. There's no food tonight. So Amy can concentrate on being this amazing host that's running around taking money for the raffle and for the charity and pushing people along and bossing them about.
How long have we got a gap for? Because I need to go and get some raffle tickets.
Probably walk around.
There's a huge amount of work to be done. Can they get it ready for a week? Maybe. I mean, they'll be up against it, but you never know. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be open during refurbishment. In fact, if it wasn't for her, it probably wouldn't be open.
Which country won the most Weddles?
When I began this journey, I thought that saving these pubs meant improving what they offer and how they operate. But this is only half the story.
It's the amazing people who run our pubs that make them so great. And I believe they need wider recognition and support for the special role that they play at the heart of our communities.